Welcome back, students. In this video we will discuss about the differences between the plant cell and animal cell. Differences between plant cells and animal cells. Yesterday we discussed about the differences between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Here we will discuss about the differences between plant cell and animal cell. So first of all, by diagram we will see the differences, and then in a chart manner we will write. The main differences between the plant cell and animal cell are: see here, by observing this we can find out that here there are two layers, here only one layer. That is, here in plants and animals, cell membrane or plasma membrane is there. In plants and animals, both the plasma membrane or the cell membrane is present, but in only plant cells we have cell wall. This is the major difference between plant cells and animal cell. Here the plant cell has cell wall, but the animal does not have cell walls. And here another major difference: the nucleus of plant cell is very small and it is moved to the peripheral side, that means extreme ends of a cell. But here in the animal cell, the nucleus is very big and it is present in the center of a cell. So what is the reason for that? Because due to the presence of a large sized vacuole in the plant cells, it pushes the nucleus to the peripheral sides of a cell. But here in the case of animal cells, the vacuoles are very small in size, so that they cannot push the nucleus to the peripheral side. That's why the nucleus occupies the central position of a cell. So this is one of the major difference, and we will see what is a vacuole and what is the function of vacuoles. We will see in detail in the discussion of vacuole. And another major difference between plant cell and animal cell is the plant cells has plastids. The plant cell has plastids. That means so many types of plastids are there, and out of that the very important type of plastid is chloroplast. Chloroplasts. The chloroplast helpful for the plant for the preparation of food by the process of photosynthesis. But here in the case of animal cells, those chloroplasts or plastids are absent. So we are dependent upon the plants for food. Okay, this is the major differences between the animal cell and plant cells. And another thing, the mitochondria. Mitochondria in the case of plant cells, it is oval or spherical. Mitochondria is oval or spherical. But in the case of animal cells, the mitochondria is tubular. In the case of animal cells, the mitochondria is tubular. But in the case of plant cells, it is either oval or spherical in shape. And another difference, the plant cell can synthesize almost all types of amino acids. What are the amino acids? These are the subunits of a protein. All the amino acids forms a peptide bond and they will form a complex protein. So the structural and functional units of the proteins are amino acids. So that plants can synthesize almost all types of amino acids. There are broadly 20 types of amino acids. Out of 20, we have 10 as an essential amino acids and 10 as an non-essential amino acids. We will see all those details. So here plant cell can synthesize almost 20 type of amino acids, coenzymes, vitamins, everything the plant cell can synthesize. But animal cell cannot synthesize almost all the types of amino acids. They can synthesize very few amino acids. And animal cells cannot synthesize vitamins. That's why we are depend upon plants for the vitamins, like carrot, spinach, so many leafy vegetables, and so many vegetables we have vitamin A. Like that, we can find all the vitamins from the plant sources. So animal cells cannot prepare vitamins. So these are the major differences between the plant cells and animal cells. Now we will see these are the major differences between the plant cell and animal cell. See here we can observe the presence of cell wall. It is present in plant cells and it is absent in animal cells. And nucleus, it lies periphery due to the centrally located large vacuole. Already we discussed in the diagram. The nucleus is migrated to the peripheral position due to the presence of large sized vacuole at central position. And here the animal cell is in animal cell the nucleus is present in the middle of the at central position of the cell, because the vacuoles are very small in size, they cannot push the nucleus to the peripheral location. And here vacuole is large and there it is very small and numerous inside, And plastids, what are the plastids? The chloroplasts, leucoplasts, chromoplasts, so many plastids are there. So we will discuss when we are discussing the topic plastids separately. And mitochondria. So what is mitochondria? What is the function of mitochondria? And what is the structure of mitochondria? We will discuss. So here in the plant cells, the mitochondria is either oval or spherical in shape. But in the case of animal cells, mitochondria are tubular in shape. And the lysosomes. What are lysosomes? These are the suicidal bags of a cell. That means these are having hydrolytic enzymes. When the condition or when the cell is going to damage other cells, these lysosomes will secrete hydrolytic enzymes and digest those cells. So the lysosomes are helpful to kill the cell itself. So they are doing the suicide. That's why lysosomes are called as suicidal bags of a cell. And the plant cells are capable of synthesizing all the 20 types of amino acids and all the coenzymes and all the vitamins. But the animal cells cannot prepare the 20 types of amino acids. They can prepare very few. And they also synthesize very few number of coenzymes and vitamins. For example, milk. From milk also we can get vitamin A. So that is also coming from the animal. So very few vitamins can be synthesized from the animals. And remaining vitamins we are depending upon the plant cells. So these are the major differences between plant cells and animal cells. Now, coming to the next topic, we already discussed cell, what are the contributions of different scientists for the discovery of cell and its different organelles, and the introduction of the cell and the 5 kingdom classification, and the differences between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, and now the differences between the plant cells and animal cells. So in the next topic we will discuss what are the different types of organelles present in a cell. So those are known as cell organelles. Cell organelles. So what are the different cell organelles? We will discuss one by one, and what are the structure and what is the significance and what is their functions. We will see in detail. So as a part of that, I will give you the list of cell organelles. First of all, we will start from cell wall. It is the outermost layer of a cell. And second one is plasma membrane. This is the second outermost layer, plasma membrane. And the most important cell organelle which controls all the functions of the cell, that is nucleus. And next one is mitochondria. Next one is plastids. So what are the three different types? Plastids: chloroplasts, chromoplasts, leucoplasts. So what are those? What are the differences between these three and what are the specific functions of these three? We will discuss. And endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. And Golgi apparatus or Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies. Ribosomes. So what are ribosomes? How many types are there? And what are the subunits present in that? And what is the function of those ribosomes? We will discuss. Glyoxysomes, peroxisomes, and one more important, vacuole, and cytoskeleton. Those are microtubules, microfilaments, and cilia flagella. These are all the different types of cell organelles which are present in all the cells, mostly, and very minute differences. These plastids are absent in the animal cells, and glyoxysomes are present in the plant cells. Peroxisomes are present in the animal cells. So minute differences are there. So we will discuss when the topic arises. And we have to discuss some special characters or special features of prokaryotic cells also. So prokaryotic cells, that means here we can observe prokaryotes means bacteria, cyanobacteria, mycoplasma. These all will come under prokaryotes. So what are the special structures other than these are present in these three type of organisms? So those are glycocalyx. So what it is? For example, this is a plant cell, outer having cell wall and inner having cell membrane. But what is glycocalyx? It is the outer layer above the cell wall. So normally this layer is absent in the remaining type of organisms. But in bacteria, cyanobacteria, mycoplasma, we have the outermost protective layer, that is glycocalyx. So how it is secreted and what are the functions of those? we will discuss. And mesosomes. So what are mesosomes? What are those functions? And what is the speciality or the difference between prokaryotic genome and eukaryotic genome? So how the genetic material, the DNA, is established and how it is packaged in the prokaryotic cell and how it is packaged in the eukaryotic cell. Those differences we have to know. And types of bacteria. Types of bacteria. There are two types of bacteria. Those are gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria. So what is this? What is the differences? On what basis they are divided the whole bacteria into gram-positive and gram-negative? So what are the chemicals behind that? We will discuss. So in this manner, we will continue each and every cell organelle and we will discuss the each and every function structure in elaborate manner. So before that, I have to discuss about the genetic material. Before going into the topic, I have to discuss about the genetic material in the living organisms. The genetic material in the living organisms. Almost all the living organisms contains DNA as a genetic material. So how it is present in the cell? DNA is about 2.2 meters. 2.2 meters length. But how it is fitted into this much minute cell? And again, how much it is fitted into this much minute nucleus? Even we cannot see cell with a naked eye. But how this much long DNA is compacted or packaged in the nucleus itself? That is because of the presence of the specialized proteins. Those are histone proteins. The proteins are present at regular intervals in nucleoplasm, and now this much length DNA is come and wind up around it. With each histone protein, the DNA is winded 2 times. Like this. See, this much length became to this much. Like that, numerous number of histone proteins are there. They will come and contacted with the histone proteins, DNA, and as a result of that, DNA will wind up around the histone proteins. As a result of that, the DNA will be more compressed or more compacted. So this is how the genetic material, that much long genetic material, is present inside the very microscopic nucleus. Like this. So why I am discussing you here is what is the differences between the prokaryotic genome and eukaryotic genome. Here in prokaryotes, this is the cell. Yesterday we discussed about the differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. The genetic material is not surrounded by any membrane. So genetic material is scattered. But here in the case of eukaryotic genome, the genetic material is compressed and that is present inside the nuclear envelope. So these are the differences. Here we have histones. So that's why that much compaction is done in the eukaryotic cells. but here histones are absent. Histone proteins are absent. That's why the DNA is not compacted, not compressed, not packaged. As a result of that, it is scattered in the cytoplasm. And now here we have to discuss what is protoplasm, what is nucleoplasm, what is cytoplasm. We have to know the differences between these three. Protoplasm means this entire thing is protoplasm. The watery material with all the chemicals present inside the cell, that is protoplasm. Here see this one and this one. If you combine these two, nucleoplasm plus cytoplasm, that is protoplasm. So, and now what is nucleoplasm? The protoplasm which is present inside the nuclear membrane. The watery material, fluid material which is present inside the nuclear membrane, that is nucleoplasm, and which is outside the nuclear membrane and inside the plasma membrane, this fluid is known as cytoplasm. So this is the basic difference we have to know. What is protoplasm, what is nucleoplasm, and what is cytoplasm. And this is the structural organization of genetic material between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. See here, this is about normal DNA. But another difference regarding the genetic material is the prokaryotes contains another set of DNA. That is this is another circular type of DNA that is known as plasmid. So this is one set of genome and this is one set of genome. And here these are plasmid contains very few genes. Very few genes. It contains very few genes. That means mostly it contains the genes antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance. For example, this is a bacteria. We are taking, if some bacteria is entered into our body and causes a disease, for example typhoid, it is caused by Salmonella typhi bacteria. Salmonella typhi. Salmonella typhi. This is a type of bacteria, causes typhoid. So after coming typhoid, we are taking the antibiotics. And we have to observe that now we are using some type of bacteria, and previously 30 years back or 20 years back we are using some other type of antibiotic. So why the antibiotics are changed? Because due to the presence of the genes, antibiotic resistance genes present in the plastids. That means at that time 30 years back they are using A type of antibiotic, for example A. So after 30 years, what will happen? Slowly this bacteria is getting resistance to that antibiotic, and after some time, even if you take that antibiotic, it will not work and it will not capable to kill that bacteria. So that is known as antibiotic resistance. Now again research was done and scientists discovered another type. Now we are using that type, and after maybe 20 years or after 15 years, this will also not work, because this bacteria always continues to evolve itself and makes this antibiotic resistance genes very strong, because it is also want to live, we also want to live. This is a fight between the bacteria and human being. So this is about the importance of plasmid for the bacteria. Like that, in the next video we will discuss about each and every cell organelle. Like we will start from cell wall and what are the different layers present in the cell wall and what is the significance of cell wall and with what substances cell wall of different kingdoms. For example, cell wall is present in Protista, cell wall is present in fungi. Cell wall is present in plant. So all the three kingdoms have cell wall, but what are the materials or what are the chemicals by which the cell walls of three different kingdoms are made up of? And what are the significance of cell wall in these three kingdoms? Like that, each and every cell organelle we will discuss in detail. Thank you.